My beloved child, listen closely, for this moment is not a coincidence nor a random sequence in the chaotic flow of life. This is a sacred appointment ordained for you before time itself began to move. You once thought certain events happened by mere chance. But in my eyes, no, detail is meaningless. From your very first breath to every silent tear, everything has been woven into a great symphony that I, myself, composed. You are standing in the midst of that symphony. And right now, a crescendo rises to signal a shift. You think you merely stumbled upon these words. Yet in truth, this is the door I have opened, so that my voice may reach the innermost depths of your soul. I want you to know that you are not abandoned, not forgotten, and not one moment of your life is wasted. Every sorrow, every waiting season, every sigh has been seen by me, and now is the time I desire to breathe new life into your journey. There have been days when you asked yourself, is there still something good reserved for me? Am I walking on the right path, or has everything been a chain of mistakes? I know those questions have weighed heavily on your chest, keeping you awake at night as you searched for even the faintest glimmer of hope. I have seen those nights when you forced a smile so others wouldn't notice the breaking inside of you. I also know the silent tears that soaked your pillow when you had no strength left to keep fighting. But hear me, my child, not a single tear has been in vain. Not a single prayer has disappeared into the void. Every whisper of your heart I have remembered, and every cry from your spirit has flown straight to my throne. As Psalm 5:6-8 declares, you have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book indeed? Not one tear of yours has fallen unnoticed. And now, the season you have been waiting for has come. I do not make promises based on your strength, but on the covenant I have established. Just as I once parted the sea for my people to pass through, just as I sustained the prophet in the barren wilderness, I will also perform something new in your life. Do not be afraid of what you see with natural eyes, for your eyes behold only the storm, but mine see the ship arriving safely at the shore. You see only obstacles, but I see the pathway already carved through the mountain. You think you are lost, but I see the green pastures awaiting you ahead. Do not let your heart tremble because of delay, for delay is not denial. In Isaiah 6:022, I've promised I am the Lord. In its time I will do this swiftly. And now, this is your appointed time. This is the season when I will open doors that seemed forever shut. The moment I will restore what you thought was lost. And the hour I will lift you from the lowly place and set you upon the mountain of glory. Imagine, my child, a field left dry and barren for years without rain. The ground cracked and the plants withered. To those who pass by, it looks like nothing but desolation. But I see within that soil the seeds that have long been buried. They are not dead. They have only been waiting for the first drop of rain. And when the rain comes, in just a moment, the field bursts forth green, vibrant, and full of life. So it is with you. Your prayers, your hidden acts of faith, your sacrifices unseen by men, are all seeds I have sown. Now, the rain of my grace is falling. The field of your life will no longer lie desolate, but will blossom and bear fruit. Others will look upon you and declare, "This is the work of the Lord." Believe this, your waiting has not been in vain. For I have never abandoned a single seed without bringing it to harvest. Open your heart to receive the change I am ushering in. This is not merely a word of encouragement, it is a decree from my throne of glory. I am placing a new seal upon your life. What once caused you to bow your head will become the reason you lift it high. The scars that once brought you shame will become living testimonies of my faithfulness. You will witness doors open unexpectedly. Divine connections appear suddenly, and solutions arrive even before you could imagine them. This is not chance. It is divine orchestration. Stand firm and do not tremble, for I have dispatched my heavenly army to encamp around you. As Psalm 3:4-7 proclaims, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. You are not alone. Every step you take is covered by my embrace. You will pass through fire and not be burned. You will walk through rivers and not be overwhelmed. And when others look at you, they will not understand why you remain unshaken. But you will know it is my hand that has held you fast. My beloved, when I look upon your life, I do not see a soul lost in the endless sea of humanity. I see a precious child engraved in the palm of my hand. You are not a blur in my sight, nor a number among millions. You are a unique creation, woven with care, with a divine plan prepared for you before the foundations of the world. Through my prophet Jeremiah I declared, before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. This is not merely an ancient verse, it is proof that you are not an accident. You have been known since eternity. Even when you feel small or forgotten, I am calling you by name and giving you a place that no one else can take. My child, I know there are times you look into the future and see only a fog that clouds the way ahead. You fear that your next step will lead to failure, and you worry that what has been lost can never be restored. But I want you to understand this. I do not lead you only to abandon you midway. I do not promise only to withdraw. Every word I have spoken will come to pass. For I am not man that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should change my mind. Remember Abraham, who, with his wife, had grown old, and every hope for a child seemed gone. Yet I came and reaffirmed my promise, though he waited decades. In the end, he held the child of promise in his arms. So it will be with you. The promise spoken over your life has not been revoked. It is simply awaiting its appointed moment. And now, that season is nearer than ever before. My beloved child, you have endured the weight of many trials. There were relationships you thought would last a lifetime, but they broke apart. There were opportunities you believed were destined for you, yet they slipped through your hands. There were doors you thought would swing wide open, but instead they slammed shut before you. I know all of these pains have made you question, am I not good enough? Am I unworthy of blessing? But, my child, the truth is not about whether you are worthy, but about my eternal love. I do not bestow blessings because of your perfection, but because of my boundless grace. If I once lifted Job from the ashes and restored him double, if I once raised Joseph from prison to the throne, then you too will see my hand at work. What was thought to be lost will be repaid not just once, but many times over. Do not allow the voices of fear to rule your mind. Do not let the accusations of the enemy cause you to forget my word. It will try to remind you of failures, of mistakes, of every time you fell. But I say to you, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. You are no longer bound by the past. You are no longer defined by scars. You are called a child of light, a citizen of heaven, an heir to the promises. I have placed a new name upon you, a new identity, and no power can strip it away. Walk in that certainty. For when you know who you are in me, You will no longer be shaken by the lies of the world. There are moments when you think you are walking alone through a barren wilderness. But, my child, even in silence, I am there. I do not need to thunder to prove my presence. Sometimes I am found in the gentle breeze, in an unexpected moment of peace, in a word of encouragement that comes seemingly by chance. That is how I remind you that I still surround you. As Isaiah 40:1-10 declares, "Fear not, for I am with you, be not dismayed. For I am your God, I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Yes, you are not abandoned, even when you stumble. My hand is stretched out to lift you, even when you are weary. I will carry you upon my shoulders. Imagine a child learning to walk. He stumbles and falls many times, but the Father stands near, patient, with an outstretched hand, encouraging, "You can do this." Do you see I am the same with you? Each time you fall, I do not forsake you. I am there to lift you up, brush off the dust, and teach you to take another step until you walk firmly. I will never leave your side. I do not expect perfection from you instantly. I only desire that you continue to hold my hand and trust that I will lead you to the land I have promised. My child, now is the time to lay down the burdens that have weighed upon your soul. You were not created to live forever in sorrow. You were created for freedom, for peace, and for a life of meaning. I know the world has often made you believe you must strive on your own, prove your worth, and chase recognition. But in me, you need not prove anything. Your value was established before you were born. You are precious not because of achievements, but because you belong to me. Do not seek affirmation from human eyes, for my gaze has always rested upon you with unchanging love. Rest in this truth. My child, let your heart be light in knowing that nothing can separate you from my love. Not hardship, not trial, not powers, nor darkness. As Paul wrote in Romans 8:3-8:39, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor rulers, nor things present nor things to come, nor powers, nor height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God." This is the assurance I place within you today. You no longer need to walk in fear. I am calling you to rise. Lift your head and believe that your future is secure in my hands. The wounds you have carried will become jewels reflecting my glory. The failures that once broke you will become the very steps that lift you higher. Every unexpected turn, every delay that seems senseless, is working together to bring you into a greater place. Do not be afraid, my child, for I am the one who goes before you, and I will never leave you. My beloved, let your soul listen deeply, for this is not merely a word of encouragement. It is a call to step out of old cycles and into a new beginning. You have carried burdens far too long, ones that seemed impossible to cast off. You have allowed painful memories to act as chains that hold you back. But, my child, I say to you today, the time has come to let go, not by your own strength, but by my power. Just as Israel could not free themselves from Egypt, but only by my outstretched arm, so too you cannot deliver yourself, but I have already prepared your deliverance. The time has come for you to lift your head and allow my light to shine, driving away the shadows that weighed upon your mind. I know there are still whispers in your heart that say, "It is too late. I have missed my chance. There is nothing left for me to begin again." But hear this clearly with me. It is never too late. I am the one who gave Abraham a son when he was 100 years old. I am the one who called Moses to lead when he was 80. I am the one who raised Lazarus after 4 days in the tomb. Do you see with me? Time and circumstance are never limitations. Therefore, do not measure my promises by the clock of this world. The moment I appoint for you is perfect, and when it comes, no force can stop it. As Ecclesiastes 3:11 declares, He has made everything beautiful in its time. So you may rest in the certainty that now is the moment I am stirring something new in your life. My beloved child, I want you to picture yourself as a small seed buried deep in the soil. In the darkness, it may feel forgotten, as though there is no hope. Yet in truth, that darkness is the very environment I use to nourish and prepare it for its breaking forth. One day, when the appointed time comes, the shell will split, and the green sprout will push through the hardened ground to reach toward the light. So it is with you. The hidden days, the silent seasons, the trials that seem to choke you were never meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. And now I declare the old shell has broken, and a new season has begun. Let your soul rise with courage, for I have placed within you a strength you have not yet discovered. Remember the promise I spoke in Isaiah 4:3-19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. That word was not only for my people in ancient times, it is for you today. Where you once thought there was no way, I am opening a path. Where you once saw barrenness, I am causing streams to flow. You have lived too long under the weight of being stuck. But now you are stepping into a new journey where I will turn every obstacle into a stepping stone and every trial into a testimony. I know you have grown weary of always trying to appear strong before others. Many times you swallowed back tears so that no one would see your weakness. But know this, my child, I do not demand that you always be unbreakable. I allow you to be weak, because in weakness, my power is made perfect. As Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 1:2-9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. You do not need to strain to prove yourself. You need only surrender to be covered. At the very moment you feel you cannot take another step, I will carry you farther. At the very moment you feel alone, I will surround you with angels. And at the very moment you think your dream has died, I will breathe new life into it. Pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Allow your mind to release the chaos and hear the silence. For in that silence, I speak most clearly. The world is loud, but my voice is gentle. Society rushes, but my timing is never late. Trust the stillness, for within it I am preparing a breakthrough. You will see the impossible begin to shift. Closed doors will swing open with ease, and the things you thought were lost forever will return in a better form. This is how I move quietly, yet with great power, so do not bow your head in shame any longer. Lift your face and walk as a true child of the Most High. You are no longer defined by failure, but by my word. You are no longer bound by pain, but set free by grace. You are no longer confined to the past, but open to a radiant future. This is the time you will begin to see the results of the seeds of faith you have sown. This is the season you will reap what you have patiently planted in silence. And this is the very hour you will witness favor poured out like a flood, transforming not only your circumstances but your very soul. I have heard your cries. I have seen every step you have taken, and I have prepared wonders reserved only for you. Do not think this is merely a message you read and pass by. This is a sign, a confirmation that I am still moving. Let your heart respond with faith. Say to yourself, I believe. Just those two words, spoken from the depths of your heart, are enough to move heaven. For faith, as small as a mustard seed, can move mountains. How much more can your faith, forged through tears, through trials, through waiting, open the very gates of heaven? Speak out your faith boldly, and you will see miracles appear. My dear child, I want you to remember this. There has never been a single day when I took my eyes off you. In the moments you felt forgotten, when every door seemed shut, I was still there, silent yet steadfast, to ensure your path never slipped from my hand. You may think my silence means indifference, but silence is not absence. It is proof that I am working at a deeper level, like a potter shaping clay in the hidden place. Every movement has purpose, to mold a perfect design. So it is with you. I have been shaping your life through experiences that seemed shattered. Every crack you see is only a place where I will pour my light. And one day, you will look back and realize it was the darkest days that laid the strongest foundation for the light to shine brighter. I have seen the pain you tried to hide, the times you forced a smile while inside was an emptiness you could not fill. I have seen the long nights when you laid your head in despair, longing for the morning to bring an answer. And I know the moments you wanted to give up, when strength ran out and your heart seemed too broken to hope again. But in those very moments, I was carrying you. You may not have realized it, but I was the strength that kept you from collapsing. I dispatched angels to encamp around you, even when you thought you were utterly alone. As Psalm 9:111 declares, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That is not a vague promise. It has been the reality over your life. You are still here today not because of chance, but because of my protection. Understand this. You have not merely survived trials. You have been refined through them. Every tear you shed has become a seed for a future harvest. Every whispered prayer, even if weak and trembling, has resounded in heaven. Not one word has been ignored. Not one cry has been forgotten. And today I want you to know the season of harvest draws near. Just as a mighty tree must spend years driving its roots deep before bearing fruit, you too have stood firm through long seasons. Now I will cause the fruit to abound. What you sowed in tears, you will reap in joy. There were times you thought all your efforts were wasted. You gave. You sacrificed. You persevered, only to be met with misunderstanding or betrayal. But my child, I do not allow any of your sacrifices to fall to the ground without producing fruit. What others did not see, I saw. What others did not value, I recorded. And in the day I have chosen, I will bring them into the light. As Matthew 6:6 says, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. I have seen what was done in secret, and now I am preparing an open reward for you. Let your heart be lifted by this truth. You are not bound by fate, curses, delays, betrayals. None of these define you. You are defined by my word. You are called an heir of the covenant. You are chosen to walk in light, not to remain in darkness. Do not let the enemy remind you of past failures as though they determine your future. Remember that David was once just a shepherd boy, left behind in the fields, disregarded by men. Yet I came to him, anointed his head with oil, and made him king over a nation. What I did for him, I will do for you. You do not need human recognition to be used by me. All I ask is your faithful heart, and I will turn what seems small in your hand into a vessel of miracles. I want you to see the larger picture. What you are enduring is not meant to crush you, but to prepare you for greater heights. A warrior cannot be seasoned without facing battle. A healer cannot bring restoration without having known pain. A lamp cannot shine brightly without surrounding darkness. So it is with you. Every trial is but a stepping stone, leading you into the fullness of my plan. Do not resent them, but believe that all things are working together for your good. As Romans 8:2-8 promises, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Walk in this assurance. My child, I am leading you into a new season. It is no longer a season of weary waiting, but a season of seeing my faithfulness displayed openly. It is no longer a season where you bow your head in disappointment, but a season where you lift it high in joy. I will turn sorrow into dancing, ashes into beauty, and failures into launching pads for success. And when these things come to pass, you will know it was not by your own strength, but by my mighty hand. My beloved, I know there are still memories within you that cause trembling. You have lived through days when everything seemed to collapse, faith tested, relationships fractured, dreams seemingly lost forever. You have asked, why did these things happen to me? Why did God not stop them? My child, I want you to understand this. I never allow trials to come to destroy you, but to refine you. The fire may cause pain, but it is also where pure gold is forged. So too, the events you have endured were never meant to break you, but to strip away what was not needed, leaving only the pure essence I placed within you from the beginning. Remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den. The enemy thought they had eliminated him by throwing him into a place of certain death, but that very place, which seemed like the end, became the stage for my power. I sent my angel to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel emerged unharmed. You see, trials are not the end, but the platform where my protection is revealed. The enemy also thought he had pressed you into a corner, but I have placed a wall of fire around you. What he meant to use against you will become the opportunity for you to rise, and all will witness my hand at work. There have been many times you felt surrounded by darkness. Negative voices whispered, "You are not good enough. You will never escape this. You are too late." But, my child, I want you to silence those lies and hear the truth I speak. You are, my child. You are loved. You are protected. You have a future and a hope. As Jeremiah 2:9-11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. You were not born to live in darkness. You were born to walk in the light. I have seen how you remained faithful even when everything around you was collapsing. You did not abandon your faith, though you suffered many losses. You did not cease praying, even when the answer seemed delayed. I have recorded it all in heaven's book. Not a single act of perseverance has been wasted. And today I declare the season of recompense is near. You will begin to see the promises I made unfolding. Opportunities once thought impossible Doors once locked tight, people once turned away, all will begin to shift. You will be astonished at how I overturn situations. What the enemy intended for harm will become the very stepping stone for your advancement. Do not forget that Job, after enduring devastating loss, never abandoned his trust in me. He lost wealth, family, health, yet in the end I restored him double. So it will be with you. What was taken is not gone forever. I am the restorer, and my restoration is never meager, it is always full, abundant, and astonishing. You will see me replace sorrow with joy, lack with abundance, brokenness with wholeness. My hand is fighting for you even now. There are battles you cannot see, yet my angels are on the front lines. They are clearing obstacles, breaking chains, and making a way for you to move forward. You do not need to fight alone. In fact, there are battles I will not allow you to engage in, because I desire to fight them myself on your behalf. Remember what I said in Exodus 1:4. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Yes, there are times when what you must do is not worry or struggle, but stand firm in faith and watch me display my power. I know this world has often made you feel undervalued. Some have belittled you. Some betrayed you. Some have overlooked your faithfulness. But believe this, with certainty, your worth does not depend on how others see you. It rests in how I see you. I have called you redeemed, anointed, chosen. When the world labels you a failure, I call you victorious. When the enemy says you are useless, I proclaim you fruitful. When you feel you have nothing left to give, I remind you that 5 loaves and 2 fish are enough in my hands to feed thousands. You are never insignificant in me. Therefore, leave behind the shame that has clung to you. Walk forward as a warrior. For you are not a victim, you are more than a conqueror. You will see divine reversals, where the enemy once schemed against you, but now must bow in the presence of your exaltation. I will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. I will cause those who once mocked you to say, "Truly, the Lord is with this one," and in that moment, you will know beyond doubt that it was I who acted. My child, keep your heart tender, and do not let bitterness take root. Forgive those who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, but breaking the chains that keep you bound to the past. When you forgive, you open the door for me to move, and when you release, you will see me fill you with a peace that cannot be shaken. Prepare your heart, for the shift has already begun. What I have spoken will no longer be delayed. Unexpected opportunities will knock. Miracles beyond explanation will unfold. And when you see them, you will know without doubt that it is my hand. This is the season I am lifting you, not only to deliver you, but to make you a light to those around you. My beloved, I want you to know this. Every limitation you have felt was binding you is only temporary. They hold no eternal power over your life. The chains of fear, the delays of time, the pressure of circumstances all must fall when I have declared freedom. You were not created to live under constraint, but to walk in full liberty. As Galatians 5:1 affirms, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Yes, you are no longer defined by the shackles of the past, by hidden fears, or by the enemy's accusations. You are defined by freedom in me, a freedom no power can ever take away. I see the longing in your heart, the yearning not merely to exist, but to bloom. You have dreamed of days filled with peace, of steps that are no longer heavy, of mornings overflowing with hope. And I say to you today, those longings are not illusions. I myself planted them within you as a reminder that you were created for more. You were not born only to endure, you were born to radiate light. You were not born to be crushed. You were born to stand firm and shine in the midst of darkness. Do not believe the voices that say your dreams are too big, for I am the one who placed them in your heart. If I planted them, I will also water them and cause them to grow. You have walked through barren seasons, times when your prayers seem to have no reply. But, my child, those seasons were not rejection, but preparation. I used the silence to teach you patience, to drive the roots of your faith deeper, like a great tree. Its roots must first grow deep into the soil in its early years, before it can rise tall and withstand storms. So it is with you. The years you thought were forgotten were the very years I was strengthening your foundation of faith. And now that your roots are firm, I will cause your life to bear fruit, that its shade might bless and nourish many others. Remember, the losses you have endured are not the end. I am the God of restoration. I can turn ashes into beauty, transform valleys of death into places where life overflows. I once breathed life into the dry bones of Ezekiel's valley and raised them into a mighty army. So too, the dreams you thought had died within you will receive my breath again. What you believed could never be restored will rise, vibrant, strong, and beyond your expectations. Let your faith be bolder than ever. Faith is not the denial of reality, but the vision that sees beyond it to my promise. Reality may show you lack, but my promise shows you abundance. Reality may show you closed doors, but my promise shows you the key. Reality may whisper that you are not enough, but my promise declares that my grace is sufficient for you. As Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Therefore, my child, dare to believe even when your eyes cannot yet see. Walk with the confidence that I am orchestrating all things for your good. Even failures I can transform into blessings. Even closed doors I can use to redirect you toward a better way. Do not cling to what has passed, for I am doing a new thing. Dare to release, so that your hands may be open to receive the new blessings. Like a farmer, if he does not till the soil and sow seeds, how will there be a harvest? So it is with you. Sow trust. Sow forgiveness. Sow hope. And you will reap a harvest of joy. I want you to know that I am working in every area of your life, not only in the spiritual, but in your relationships, your health, your work, and your finances. I do not touch just one part, I touch the whole. I long to restore every aspect that the enemy has tried to destroy. And when I restore, it is never merely to bring things back as they were, but to make them better, deeper, stronger, and enduring. That is how I work. I do not only return, I increase. So let your heart open wide to that increase. Do not fear that you are unworthy. Do not doubt that you will miss it. If I have begun, I will finish. If I have planted, I will cause it to grow. If I have promised, I will fulfill it. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can nullify my word over your life. My child, This is not only a new beginning for you, but for generations after you. When you stand firm in faith, you are opening a pathway for your children and their children to step into blessing. When you believe, the seed of faith does not end with you, but springs forth in your lineage. Just as Timothy received faith through his mother and grandmother, so your descendants will inherit from you. Let the legacy you leave behind not be fear or anxiety, but a strong faith in the one who never changes. My beloved, true transformation does not begin with outward circumstances, but with the renewing of the mind and heart. The world tells you that happiness comes from having more, achieving more, or gaining approval. But I say to you, fullness does not come from these things. It comes from my presence within you. As Romans 1:22 declares, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. This is what I am calling you into, a renewal from within, which will then align every outward aspect with my divine intent. Look back on what you have experienced. How many times did you think that if circumstances changed, you would finally be happy if you had more money, if you had a better job, if your relationships were smoother? Yet even when some of those things came, the emptiness still lingered. That is because true peace does not come from circumstances, but from me, the source. When you let me fill your mind and heart, when you give me the central place within, then even in the storm, you will smile. Even in loss, you will find hope. That transformation does not come by your strength, but by my Spirit working within you. Do not underestimate the power of your thoughts. Every thought you nurture is a seed planted in your soul. If you sow fear, you will reap anxiety. If you sow bitterness, you will reap pain. But if you sow faith, you will reap peace. If you sow hope, you will reap joy. This is why the scriptures teach, take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. 2 Corinthians 1:05. You have the authority to choose what you allow to dwell in your mind. Do not let negative voices govern your soul any longer. Let my word be the lamp that guides you. Imagine your mind as a garden. If neglected, weeds will grow and choke the good plants. But if tended, watered, and weeded, the garden will flourish. So it is with your mind. If you let fear, doubt, and bitterness take root, you will feel weary and trapped. But if you nourish it with my word, with prayer, with faith, you will find life overflowing, and the fruit of peace and joy will blossom. Do not let your garden lie in ruin. Let me tend it with you, so that all who enter your life will breathe in the fragrance of my presence. I know it is not easy to change your thinking. You have carried painful memories for too long. Listen to negative words so often that they seem to become part of you. But today I want to break those chains. You are no longer bound by the labels others placed on you. You no longer have to live under the shadow of old failures. You have the right to renew your mind each day. As Ephesians 4:2-3:24 urges, be made new in the attitude of your minds and put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. You do not have to be defined by yesterday. You are free to step into each new day with a renewed identity. A young bird kept in a cage for too long becomes accustomed to the bars and confined space. So much so that when the door is opened, it hesitates to fly. It fears the vastness of the sky, thinking it too dangerous. But the truth is, It was created to soar. So it is with you. You have grown used to limitations, accustomed to thoughts that confine, until you no longer believe you can live free. But, my child, I have already opened the door. You are no longer imprisoned. You were created to fly on the wings of faith, to rise into the wide expanse. Do not let fear keep you in the old cage. Fly, for your wings have been with you from the beginning. Transformation does not come in an instant, but through a daily journey. Do not be discouraged if you still feel weak, if you still stumble. Each time you return to me, each time you choose faith over fear, forgiveness over bitterness, that is a step forward. Those small steps, gathered together, will lead you farther than you ever imagined. And one day you will look back and realize how far you have come. Remember, I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to live abundantly. As John 10:10 says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. That abundance is not just material, but peace of mind, joy of heart, and love that covers every relationship. You do not need to wait for some distant day to live in that joy. It begins today. The moment you choose to renew your mind and open your heart to me. I am at work within you. I am lifting unseen burdens, breaking down walls, healing old wounds. You do not need to hide your pain from me, for I see it all and love you still. Let this truth sink deep into your soul. You are not alone, not abandoned, not invisible. You are known, you are loved, and you are being transformed day by day by my power. So speak to yourself, I am free, I am loved, I am chosen. When you declare this, the heavens shift, angels rejoice, and I delight in seeing my child dare to believe, dare to rise, dare to walk in transformation. This is the beginning of a new chapter, where your mind is no longer chained, but free to soar in my truth. My beloved, I want you to understand that you cannot live a new life with an old mindset. If you continue to let past memories, criticisms, or wounds govern your thoughts, you will remain trapped in cycles of disappointment. True transformation does not begin by changing your environment, but by renewing how you see yourself in the world. When you see yourself through my eyes, everything changes. You will no longer see a failure, but a warrior in training. You will no longer see a fragile soul, but one chosen to carry light. You will no longer see a broken heart, but a vessel being mended to hold blessing. Remember that Moses once felt unqualified. When I called him to lead my people, he said he was slow of speech, unable to carry such a burden. But I answered, who gave human beings their mouths, who makes them deaf or mute, who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I? The Lord. Exodus 4:1-1. You see, the question is not what you feel you lack, but whether you believe that I am the one who equips you with all you need. You do not walk alone, so you need not rely on your own strength. When I call, I also equip. When I open a door, I also give the key. When I place a responsibility, I also supply the power. My child, how many times have you compared yourself to others, thinking you were less talented, less fortunate, less capable? But know this comparison is a trap that makes you forget the unique identity I gave you. I did not create you to be a copy of anyone else. You were crafted with a divine fingerprint unlike any other. No one can replace your voice, your journey, or your mission. Stop gazing at another's field. Tend to the field I entrusted to you. For when the harvest comes, the fruit of your life will be distinct and precious in its own way. I know that sometimes the doubts within can be more dangerous than the obstacles outside. You may endure the criticism of others, yet find it harder to escape the small voice inside that whispers, "You will never succeed. You are not strong enough. You have made too many mistakes." But I tell you, that voice does not come from me. The voice I place within you always carries encouragement, hope, and life. If you hear words that drain your courage and rob you of faith, they are not my voice. I call you so that you may know you are loved, redeemed, and given a bright future. Look at David. When everyone else saw only a small shepherd boy, I saw a king. When his brothers stood tall, admired and respected, Samuel thought, surely one of them must be the chosen one. But I declared, the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 1:6-7. Do you see people judge by what they see outwardly? But I see the heart. When I look at you, I do not see failure. I see potential. I do not see limitations. I see destiny, and that destiny cannot be stolen. I want you to train your spiritual eyes to see everything through a new lens. When you encounter difficulties, view them as opportunities to grow. When you face delays, see them as time for your roots to deepen. When you experience loss, view it as a door through which I will bring something better. The more you learn to see with eyes of faith, the less you will be shaken by what happens around you. As 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we live by faith, not by sight." You are not limited by what your eyes can see, because I am at work in the unseen. My child, let me change the way you speak about yourself. Do not diminish yourself with negative words. When you say, "I am weak," remember that I have declared, when you are weak, then you are strong. 2 Corinthians 1:2-1:0. When you say, "I cannot," remember that I have spoken. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:1-3. When you say, "I am nothing," remember that I call you beloved, chosen, and my workmanship. Your words carry power. What you declare will shape you. So choose to speak words of life, of encouragement, of faith. For heaven itself backs those words. Do not wait for perfect circumstances before you begin to believe. If you wait until the wind is gone, you will never set sail. If you wait until everything is certain, you will never step forward. I have not called you to wait until you are ready. I have called you to move even when the path is unclear. That is the essence of faith, placing your foot upon the water while the waves still roar. And when you do, you will discover my hand holding you, not allowing you to sink. Be courageous and break free from old limits. Let your mind be renewed, your heart refreshed, and your inner light awakened. You are no longer caged by fear, but free to soar in the skies of hope. You are no longer labeled by failure, but called by a new name. You no longer have to bow your head in shame, but may lift your face in joy. This is the moment you step out of what is old and into what is new. And I, the one who promised, will walk with you in every step. My beloved, I want you to recognize that renewal is not only a change in thought, but a transformation in every part of you and your soul, in your actions, in the way you live each day. Faith is not an abstract idea to be hidden in your heart. It is a practical power that can transform every area of life. When you allow me to renew you from within, that light will shine outward. It will be visible in the way you speak, in the way you treat others, and in the way you face challenges. People will see the difference in you, not because you strain to prove it, but because my presence has been etched deeply within you. Remember the words of Jesus, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Matthew 5:1-4. You were created to shine, not to hide in shadows. You were created to be a living witness of my love and power. The light within you is not only for yourself, but to guide others. As you walk in your new identity, you will become a source of encouragement to the hopeless, a testimony to those who believe their story has ended. My child, I know you have carried many wounds from the past, words that cut deeply, relationships that left you broken, failures that made you question your worth. But I declare that no wound is wasted. They are no longer marks of defeat, but evidence of the strength you showed in rising again, like a mighty tree with scars on its trunk. Those very scars testify that it has endured storms. So it is with you. The scars on your soul will become testimonies of my grace, that you are still standing, still living, and even stronger than before. Let the past be your foundation, not your chains. Do not see it as a sentence, but as a lesson. What you have gone through does not define you, but it can shape you, making you wiser, more compassionate, and steadfast. As 2 Corinthians 5:1-7 proclaims, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. You are no longer the person of yesterday. You have been reborn for a new beginning, and nothing can deny that truth. I want you to walk in a new kind of confidence, not the arrogant confidence that relies on personal achievements, but the confidence that comes from knowing you belong to me. You can lift your head high, not because you are perfect, but because you know you are forgiven, loved, and chosen. When the world tries to make you doubt, remember that you are not alone. I am the one who parted the sea for my people to pass through, who multiplied the bread to feed the hungry multitude, who raised the dead to life. If I did that for them, I will surely act on your behalf as well. Learn to see yourself through the lens of my promises, not through your circumstances. Circumstances may change, but my promises remain eternal. You may be in a difficult season right now, but that does not mean my plans for you have been canceled. On the contrary, it is often in the hardest seasons that I am working the most. I am pushing back the darkness, opening a path, and preparing for you a door that no one has ever walked through before. As Isaías 61 declares, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Yes, this is your time to rise and shine, for my light has covered you. My child, I know there are times when you feel small in this vast world, but remember, it is I who chose the weak to shame the strong, and the things the world counts as nothing to accomplish what is great. This means you do not need to have everything in your hands before you begin. You only need to offer what you have, and I will multiply it, just as the boy who had only 5 loaves and 2 fish. Yet when placed in my hands, it was enough to feed thousands. So it is with you. The little you carry becomes a miracle when entrusted to me. Let go of the fear of not being enough. Stop comparing your journey with others. You are neither behind nor forgotten. You are exactly where I have appointed you to be. Every delay, every redirection, every season of waiting, all of it is part of my refining plan. Once you understand this, you will no longer see failure as the end, but as a stepping stone to greater heights. Allow the renewal I am working within you to become the strength that transforms the environment around you. You are not only called to live differently, but also to carry that difference into your family, your work, and your community. As you walk in your new identity, you will see relationships healed, tensions dissolved, and new doors open. The light within you will draw those searching for hope, and you will have the opportunity to tell them that I am the source of life. So do not return to old patterns of thinking, and do not let your former identity hold you captive any longer. You have been renewed. You have been set apart. You have been given a new name. This is the time for you to rise, to walk, and to live as a true child of the Most High. Do not hide your light. Do not diminish your worth to please others. Let my glory shine through your life. This is not just another chapter, it is a new era. And in this era, you will witness wonders beyond your imagination. Beloved one, I want you to understand that the journey of faith is never a smooth road. There will be storms, battles, and mountains that seem impossible to climb, but I declare to you, you will never have to walk through them alone. From the beginning until now, and even to the very end, my hand has held yours. There are dangers you cannot see, threats you do not recognize, but I have been and continue to be your shield. As Psalm 121:7-8 assures, the Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. I know there are nights when you lie awake, worried about what tomorrow may bring. You fear you are not strong enough to face the trial, not wise enough to find the solution, not patient enough to endure. But remember, your safety is not anchored in your own ability, but in my presence. I never promised you would not face trials, but I promised the trials would not destroy you. I did not promise you would never walk through fire, but I promised you would not be burned. I did not promise you would never pass through the waters, but I promised you would not be swept away. As Isaiah 4:3-2 declares, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not consume you. My child, look back and remember how many battles you have already overcome. There were times you thought you would never rise again, yet here you are today. That is no accident. It is the imprint of my hand. When you fell, I lifted you up. When you were wounded, I bound your wounds. When you were weary, I carried you. I am the reason you are still standing. And this is also the guarantee that I will continue with you until the very end. I never begin something only to abandon it. If I have begun a good work in you, I will be faithful to complete it until the final day. Philippians 1:6. I see the times when you feel surrounded by darkness. When lies creep into your mind, you are alone. You are abandoned. You are unprotected. But I say to you, those are lies. The truth is, you are shielded by a divine hedge. No enemy can cross. You are like Jerusalem of old, surrounded by walls of fire that I myself set in place. No matter what schemes the enemy plots, they cannot touch your soul. I have sealed you with my eternal love. and no power can break that seal. Remember the story of Elijah. During the drought, when everyone was in need, I provided for him by sending ravens with bread and meat. When the brook dried up, I opened another way so he would not die of thirst. In the same way, I have provided and will continue to provide for you, even in your hardest seasons. Do not look at your circumstances and tremble. Look to me, for I am the unfailing source. You may lose a job, but you will not lose my provision. You may lose friends, but you will not lose my companionship. You may lose possessions, but you will not lose my love. And that love is enough to rebuild everything you thought was gone. I want you to understand that the enemy does not tremble when you merely hear my words, but he shudders when you live them out. When you stand firm upon the truth, when you open your mouth and declare your faith, the darkness must retreat. Remember that faith does not rest only in thoughts, but also in actions. When you pray, the heavens are shaken. When you sing praise in the midst of the storm, prison walls tremble. When you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, chains are broken. You are not weak. You carry within you the very power of the Holy Spirit, the same power that raised Christ from the dead. And that power is at work in you every single day. Do not fear what lies ahead. I have gone before you. I have cleared the path. Yes, you will face trials, but you will not face them alone. You will hear voices of negativity, but I will whisper the truth. You will feel weary, but I will give you new strength. As Psalm 4:6-1 declares, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Indeed, you will find refuge in me, and you will see that no calamity lies beyond my control. So be at peace. Know that you are held in my hand. You are not abandoned to fate. You are covered by an eternal covenant. You are not cast adrift in the storm. You are sheltered beneath my mighty wings. You are not alone on this journey. You have a Father in heaven who walks with you. Let this truth become the foundation of your faith. Do not be afraid, for I am fighting for you. Stand firm, for you are not only protected, you are being prepared to step into a new season, a season where you will no longer live in worry, but in the peace that surpasses all understanding. Beloved one, I want you to recognize a truth. My protection is not only to keep you safe, but to guard the purpose I have placed within you. Every person has a destiny, but you, my child, have been chosen for a special assignment. This is why the battles around you often rage more fiercely. The enemy knows that if you take your rightful place, you will impact many souls. He does not only seek to steal your peace, but to hinder you from fulfilling the task I have given you. But rest assured, this mission is not in human hands, but in mine, and my hand never trembles. My child, I have seen the days when the pressure was so heavy that you felt you could not take another step. You thought you were carrying a burden too great, that no one could understand the weight you bore. But I want you to know, I am not only beside you to comfort, I am also guarding the treasure I placed within your heart. Like a seed hidden in the dark soil, it may be concealed from human eyes, yet I am protecting it from all that could destroy it. And at the appointed time, that seed will push through the hardened earth and rise with strength. So it is with you. The mission within you is being preserved by my hand until the day it bursts forth as life for many others. Remember the story of Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, falsely accused. and thrown into prison. Others thought his story had ended. Yet it was through those very hardships that I positioned him to save a nation. Do you see what the enemy intended for harm became the very doorway to destiny? In the same way, what you face today is not the end. It is part of a greater plan. I am arranging every detail, though you cannot yet see. But you will one day realize that each trial was a stepping stone, lifting you higher. My protection goes far beyond what you can understand. There are doors I close, not to deny you, but to protect you from what would harm you. There are relationships I remove, not to leave you lonely, but because I know they would lead you off course. There are opportunities you longed for but did not receive, not because you were unworthy, but because they would have pulled you away from my purpose. Every no I allow is making room for a greater, more enduring yes from my hand. Remember, I am the one who sees the future. I know where danger lies and where safety is found. When I protect you, it is not only from immediate harm, but also to lead you on the path where you will not lose your purpose. When I brought Israel out of Egypt, I did not take them by the shortest road, for I knew that if they faced war too soon, they would turn back. Instead, I led them by a longer path, one that was safer, so their faith could grow. So it is with you at times you think I am delaying, but truly, I am guiding you along the safest way, so that when you arrive at your destination, you will be strong enough to stand. Know this, my protection is not a distant promise, but a reality you have already experienced. How many times have you escaped accidents by a hair's breadth? How many times have you been lifted when all seemed to collapse? These are clear signs that my angels surround you. As Psalm 3:4-7 declares, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are reminders that you are always shielded by my unseen yet powerful wall. Do not think that protection means you will never face hardship. It means hardship will never defeat you. Do not think that protection means the enemy will never attack. It means every attack will be rendered powerless under my hand. Do not think that protection means you will never feel weak. It means that in your weakness, my strength will be revealed. Paul learned this when he pleaded with me about the thorn in his flesh. And I replied, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. Do you see? The very thing that causes you to tremble becomes the place where my power is displayed. My protection is not only for your present but also for your future. I will not let you leave this world until the work I have given you is complete. You are kept until the day your mission is fulfilled. And on that day, you will look back and see that not one tear was wasted, not one wound without meaning, not one trial without purpose. All of it I have used to form in you a steadfast, strong, and radiant life. Beloved child, my protection is never only about keeping you intact after the storm. It is also to prepare you for the new season ahead. I did not create you merely to survive, but to overcome. You were not made only to stand after the battle, but to walk through the battle and claim the reward. Remember, David did not become king while tending sheep in the field, but after he faced Goliath. His victory over the giant was not only for the sake of that day's safety, it was the stepping stone to his throne. In the same way, the trials you endure are not meant to destroy you, but to position you for elevation. Never forget, I do not allow any battle unless it carries divine purpose. Each time you encounter resistance, See it as proof that you are drawing closer to the door of destiny. The enemy does not waste his arrows on those who pose no threat. If he is trying to bring you down, it is because he sees the potential within you. But do not fear. He may recognize the potential, but he cannot stop the fulfillment. He may whisper lies, but my word is the final word. And my final word is this: you will walk into the blessing that has been appointed for you. My child, my protection is not only for you alone, but it extends to those around you. When you stand firm, your family is sheltered as well. When you declare your faith, the atmosphere around you shifts. When you remain faithful, even those who have not yet believed in me will sense the difference, like a light set upon a hill. My presence within you will radiate, and those who encounter you will also partake in the blessing. This is why I protect you, not only to save one person, but to bring impact to many. I know you have grown weary in the waiting. You have asked, when will the change come? When will the promise be fulfilled? But remember this: my protection during the waiting is to preserve you until the new season opens. Without my shelter, the enemy would have worn you down before you could see fulfillment. Yet because I have kept you, you are still here, and you will not miss it. As Habakkuk 2:3 declares, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not lie. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." The appointed time has already been set by my hand, and no power can alter it. Imagine a field being prepared for harvest. The farmer must pull out weeds, set up fences, and guard the seed from destruction. In the same way, I have been guarding your life, uprooting what was unnecessary, raising a hedge of protection so that the seed of faith within you would not be destroyed. And now, that seed has come into its season of fruitfulness. Protection is no longer only to keep you hidden in the dark, but to bring you out into the light to witness a great harvest. Be assured that my protection is never in vain. It is the guarantee that you will live to see my goodness. As Psalm 27:1-3, the 14th of December, lares, I remain confident of this: I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. You will not depart in lack. You will not end in sorrow. You will not be abandoned in the shadows. You will live to witness the turnaround, the restoration, and the glory. I know there are wounds that have made you feel weaker, but I want you to know that it is in your weakness that my strength is made perfect. When you have no strength left, I am your strength. When you have no solutions, I am the way. When you have no hope, I am your eternal hope. You do not need to fight alone, for I have already fought on your behalf. And because I protect you, the final outcome cannot be defeat. It will be victory not only for you, but for all those touched through your life. Therefore, step into each new day with courage. Do not look toward the future with fearful eyes, but with eyes of expectation. Do not think you must face everything alone, for my angels go before you, clearing obstacles, making a way in the wilderness, and causing rivers to flow in dry places. You are being prepared for a season unlike any before, a season of deep peace, enduring joy, and doors opening into the very things I have promised. Beloved one, after the many days you have stood under my protection, now I want you to recognize a new truth. None of the suffering you have endured has been wasted. Every tear you have shed, every silent cry in the night, Every moment you thought you could not go on, all of it, I have gathered. And I have turned into seed for a great harvest. You have not only been preserved after the storms, but you will see fruit spring forth from the very ground, once filled with thorns. As Psalm 126:5, the 6th of December layers, those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Those who go out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. My child, your tears have not been wasted. They have become the rain that waters the seed of faith. And now the season of harvest draws near. You have passed through days that seemed marked by loss, but I promise that restoration will come to you, not only returning what was taken, but adding what you never had. The restoration I give is not like the world's replacement. The world can substitute, but I recreate. The world can patch together, but I renew. The world can repay in part, but I give in overflowing abundance. When I restore, the wound is no longer just a wound. It becomes a testimony of strength. When I restore, you do not simply return to what you were, but you rise stronger and wiser, like the potter reshaping a cracked vessel. I do not discard it, but I refashion it. And the vessel becomes more beautiful and more valuable because it is passed through the hands of the Creator. I know you have felt discouraged when you looked around and saw others advancing easily while you seemed delayed. But my child, waiting does not mean abandonment. Waiting is the process of preparation. Like a seed buried in the soil, it must endure the hidden season before it can break through the surface. Like the goldsmith refining gold in the fire, it must be tested before it shines. So it is with you. The days of waiting are the days I strengthen the roots of your faith, so that when restoration comes, you will be strong enough to carry the great blessing. And know this, my child, restoration is not for one part of your life only. It will touch every area. I will touch your body and bring healing to your weariness. I will touch your mind and remove torment, giving you peace. I will touch your relationships and mend what has been broken, bringing reconciliation. I will touch your finances and open new opportunities, bringing provision in abundance. And above all, I will touch your soul and give you a joy that no one can take away. Every place once damaged by darkness will be transformed, and light will overflow. I want you to believe that the blessing to come is not the result of your own striving, but of my faithfulness. There are things you tried with all your effort, yet could not accomplish, because I wanted you to understand that only grace brings true results. When restoration comes, you will know it was not by your strength, but by my hand, and that knowledge will make you humble, grateful, and more in love with me than ever before. Prepare your heart to receive the new thing. Do not let past experiences hinder you from believing in restoration. Do not let painful memories convince you that there is no longer hope. As it is written in Isaiah 4:3-1-8-19, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Yes, my child, I am doing a new thing. The river of life is flowing through the places that once seemed barren, and you will witness this miracle with your very own eyes. This restoration is not only to comfort you, but to testify to everyone that I am the faithful one. Those who doubted, who mocked, who believed you would never rise again, they will fall silent when they see the transformation I bring into your life. I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies, and they themselves will behold the fullness of your restoration, not so that you may boast, but that glory may belong to me, and that your life may become a living testimony. Therefore, lift up your head. Believe that the day you have been waiting for is near. Restoration is at the door. Blessing is on its way. Joy is springing forth in your heart. You have sown in tears, and now you will reap in joy. You have waited patiently, and now you will see breakthrough, and you will know you were never abandoned. My hand has always been upon you, and now is the time to behold the fruit. Beloved one, I want you to understand that the restoration I am preparing for you is not merely to return you to where you once were, but to lift you to a higher place. There are things you thought would be enough if they were only returned to you as before. But I say I will do more than that. I will not only bring you back, I will take you further. I will not only heal, I will renew. I will not only reopen old doors, I will create new paths that have never existed. As Isaiah 6:1-7 declares, instead of your shame you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace you will rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. Do you see, I am the one who turns shame into glory, loss into inheritance, and tears into joy. Think of Joseph when he was sold into slavery. It seemed his life had ended in injustice. Yet I used those very circumstances to place him in a position of influence in Egypt's palace. Without the days in prison, Joseph would not have met the cupbearer. And without meeting the cupbearer, he would not have been brought before Pharaoh. And without standing before Pharaoh, he would never have had the opportunity to interpret the dream and become prime minister. Do you see, restoration is not just returning what was lost. It is the turning of circumstances to lift him higher than ever before. And the same will happen for you. For I am the Lord who does not change. Yesterday, today, and forever. There are things you think are gone forever, dreams unfinished, opportunities lost, relationships that seem beyond repair. But I tell you, I am the God of resurrection. What you thought was dead, I can breathe back to life. What you thought was closed, I can reopen in a new way. Remember Lazarus, he had been in the tomb for 4 days, and everyone believed there was no hope. Yet when I spoke, Lazarus, come forth, death could not hold him any longer. In the same way, I am calling your dreams out of the grave. I am calling your buried hopes back to life. And when this happens, no one will be able to deny that it is a miracle. My restoration does not only touch the outward things, but it reaches the depths of your heart. Over the years, wounds have caused you to close yourself. Betrayals have made you cautious. Losses have made you afraid to love again. But I desire to heal from the innermost place. I do not want you to wear only an outward smile, but to rejoice truly from within. I do not want you merely to appear strong, but to be truly strong at heart. I do not want you simply to be fine, but to live abundantly. When I touch you, healing will go deeper than the pain. Peace will rise higher than the fear, and joy will endure beyond every circumstance. My child, open your heart to believe that the coming restoration will be different. It is not just a temporary solution, but a lasting renewal. It will touch every hidden corner of your life. It will breathe life into the places that seemed dried up. It will awaken new hope, giving you fresh eyes to see the world. I will give you beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Isaiah 6:1-3. This is not merely restoration. It is a complete transformation. Do not think you have gone too far to be brought back. Do not think you have wasted too many years to recover. Do not think the wounds are too deep to heal. I am the one who created the universe from nothing, and I can rebuild your life from ruins. Do not let time discourage you, for I am not bound by time. Do not let the past haunt you, for I can turn the past into the foundation for a glorious future. Do not let failures define you, for you have been forgiven and made clean. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by my eternal love. The restoration I give also carries a greater purpose, that your life may become a testimony. When people see the change in you, they will ask, "How did you overcome? How did everything turn around so quickly?" And that will be the opportunity for you to say, "It was by the hand of God." I will make the restoration in you so radiant that it cannot be denied, not so that you may be glorified, but that my name may be glorified, not so that you may boast, but so that many others may be encouraged. Your life will become a living witness that I am the restorer, the rebuilder, the one who makes all things new. Therefore, prepare yourself, soften your heart, open your hands, and wait with expectation. You do not need to know exactly how restoration will come, for I have countless ways. You only need to believe that it is coming. It is coming into your family, into your work, into your finances, into your health, and into your soul. Every area that was plundered will be repaid. Every place that was empty will be filled. Every prayer you once thought was wasted will bear fruit, and you will see that my grace is always abundant, never running dry. Beloved child, the restoration I give you is not only to mend what has been broken, but to prepare you for a season of abundance beyond your imagination. I do not want you merely to survive after hardship. I want you to step into a life of overflow so that you may give to others. As John 10:10 declares, I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full. Restoration is not the end point. It is the doorway to a new chapter, where blessings flow through your life, not only for you, but for your family, your community, and the generations to come. Think of the farmer after a season of sowing in tears. When the harvest comes, he not only has enough for himself, but seed to sow again, grain to feed his family, and food to share with the village. In the same way, the restoration I give will leave you with enough to live, enough to give, and enough to help those in need. This is what makes blessing complete. It does not stop with one person, but becomes a stream that flows outward. You are blessed to be a blessing. You are restored so that you can lift others. You are renewed so that your life may testify that I am the living God. My child, I am not only thinking of you today, but of your descendants. Just as Abraham was promised, I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. Genesis 1:2-2. Yes, you are not restored merely for your own well-being, but so that the spiritual inheritance within you may be passed on. You will sow seeds of faith for your children, and they will grow up in an atmosphere covered by my presence. Every prayer you offer, every act of obedience you make, will create a river of blessing flowing through generations. I know you have thought that the years lost were wasted. You regret the opportunities missed. the wrong turns taken, the time that has slipped away. But I declare, I am the one who redeems time. I can turn the years devoured by the locust, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar into a season of overflowing harvest. Joel 2:5. You will see that not one moment has been in vain, for I have used all of it to prepare you. Even the darkest stretches of the road have formed the wisdom you will need when you step into abundance. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Know this restoration also brings a new freedom. You will no longer live in fear of falling again. You will no longer be haunted by memories of the past. You will no longer allow the enemy's voice to imprison your mind. I have broken the chains, and now you are free to live, to praise, and to walk in the light. That freedom is not only a feeling, but a spiritual reality. You are no longer defined by the old, but are called by a new name. You are the forgiven one, the redeemed one, the one given authority to stand in my righteousness. Do not look back with eyes of regret, but look forward with anticipation. The past has been closed, the present has been renewed, and the future is wide open. I am leading you into broader fields, greater opportunities, purer and healthier relationships. This restoration is not a stopping point. It is the beginning of a new journey. This journey will take you to places you never dreamed of, bring you to people you never imagined, and let you experience miracles you have never seen before. My child, I want you to walk into this new season with gratitude and courage. Gratitude, because you know that every good thing comes from me. Courage, because you understand that if I am with you, nothing can stand against you. When gratitude and courage come together, your life will become a song of victory, echoing before heaven and silencing the enemy. No one can deny a life restored by my power, and nothing can steal the joy I have planted in your heart. Now is the time for you to live as one who has been healed, as one who has been restored, as one who has been made new. Do not live as though you are still chained. Do not walk as though you are still in the dark. Do not speak as though you are still in despair. You have been set free. You have been revived. You have been placed on a new foundation. And from this foundation, you will build a life of abundance, a lasting legacy, and a story that generations to come will tell to glorify my name. My beloved child, when restoration has touched every corner of your life, I call you to boldly step into a new beginning. You are no longer imprisoned by old chains, no longer bound by past failures, and no longer defined by former wounds. You have been set free to live in freedom. And this freedom is not the fragile kind the world gives, but the lasting freedom that comes from truth. As I have spoken, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:3-6. This freedom is not merely release from the past, but the invitation to live in a new identity, in new power, and on a new path. Do not think that a new beginning means leaving everything behind. A new beginning is when I transform the meaning of the old so that it becomes a firm foundation for what is to come. Scars no longer bring you shame, but stand as proof that you have overcome. Losses no longer drive you to despair, but remind you that I am the one who restores double. Mistakes no longer serve as condemnation, but as lessons that have made you wiser. Look back and see how I have woven all things together into a glorious tapestry, even when each thread at times seems scattered. This new beginning is not random chance, it is divine design. Before you called to me, I had already planned it. Before you knew to pray, I had already prepared it. As Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you," says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That future is no longer cloaked in anxiety, but opens wide under divine guidance. That hope is not a vague idea, but a lamp illuminating the path before you. You are stepping into a season of fulfillment, where every word I have spoken will come into sight. I know stepping into a new beginning can make you anxious, because it carries the unknown. But remember, the unknown does not mean danger. It is in the unfamiliar that you will learn to rely on me more deeply. You do not need to know every detail ahead. You only need to take my hand and walk. Just as Abraham left his homeland, not knowing where he was going, yet obeyed, and in the end became the father of a nation as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the shore, so it will be with you. Your obedience today will open the door to a radiant future you never dared to imagine. My child, a new beginning does not mean you will never face hardship again, but the difference is that you will walk with new strength and wisdom. You will no longer tremble before trials as before, for now your heart has been renewed. You will no longer fear the negative voices, for my voice resounding within you will be louder. You will no longer feel abandoned, for you will know that my angels surround you, and I myself go before you to prepare the way. You will experience the promise of Psalm 2, 3, 4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff. They comfort me." The new beginning I give you is not only for your own peace, but also that you may become an influence. The experiences you endured, the wounds that have been healed, the tears that have turned into smiles, all of these will become tools for you to encourage others. You will no longer speak of despair, but of hope. You will no longer speak of defeat, but of victory. You will no longer speak of loss, but of abundant provision. And as you do so, your life will become a powerful testimony that I am the God of new beginnings. Therefore, walk into this season with courage. Do not look back in fear, but lift your eyes forward in steadfast faith. You are stepping into a new chapter in your story, and this chapter will be written with pages filled with light. I hope and blessing. I am the author of your story, and I have never left a single page unfinished. Let me continue writing, and you will see that the most beautiful chapters still lie ahead. My beloved child, the new beginning I am opening for you is not meant to change just a few details of your life, but to reposition your entire journey. I do not want you simply to live a little better, but to walk in the fullness I have already prepared for you. This means you will no longer live as someone striving to prove your worth, but as one who knows you are chosen, loved, and sent. This new beginning is the establishment of your true identity. It is the reminder that you are a citizen of the kingdom of heaven, no longer belonging to darkness but brought into light. As 1 Peter 2:9 proclaims, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." You are not only called to live, you are called to proclaim, to shine, and to influence. I know that when you hear of a new beginning, you may think it is something distant, something that comes only after every problem is solved. But the truth is, a new beginning does not wait until everything is perfect. It starts now, It does not require ideal circumstances, but a willing heart, like Peter, who had fished all night and caught nothing. Yet when he obeyed the words of Jesus, "Cast your net on the right side of the boat," he drew in a catch so great that the nets began to break. Luke 5:6. Do you see, a new beginning does not depend on what you have accomplished, but on whether you will dare to believe and obey my word, my child. A new beginning also carries a calling. You can no longer live in the old cycle of fear and doubt. You can no longer remain on the worn path of disappointment and suspicion. I am placing you in a new setting where you must learn to see all things through the eyes of faith. When you see challenges, I want you to perceive opportunities. When you see obstacles, I want you to recognize my hand making a way. When you experience silence, I want you to understand that it is the moment I am working behind the curtain. A new beginning is truly a transformation in vision, no longer seeing with natural eyes, but with spiritual eyes. I also want you to understand that a new beginning is not only for you, but for those who will be touched through you. When I restore you, I am not only thinking of a life healed, but of a community encouraged. When I lift you up, I am not only considering your success, but also those who will be lifted with you. Look at Joseph. He was not rescued for himself alone, but to save his family and an entire nation. Look at Esther. She was not placed as queen for her own sake, but to deliver the people of Israel. So it is with you. The new beginning I give carries a weight of purpose, that you might become a source of life for others, that you might be a witness to your generation. I know at times you ask yourself, am I strong enough to carry such a great new beginning? But remember, this strength does not come from you, but from my Spirit within you. As Zechariah 4:6 declares, not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit. You do not need to possess every skill. You do not need to hold every resource. You do not need to build every connection. You only need me, and I will provide the rest. When I call, I also equip. When I open the way, I also provide. When I send, I also go with you. A new beginning also requires you to let go of what no longer belongs. I cannot pour new wine into old wineskins, nor plant new seed in ground overrun with weeds. You must be willing for me to remove what hinders, to cleanse your mind, and to renew your heart. At times this pruning will be painful, but it is necessary, just as the vine is pruned so that it may bear more fruit. John 1:5-2. You too are being pruned to yield abundance. Believe that every cutting has a purpose to free you to step fully into the new beginning. You will see fulfillment, not merely distant dreams, not only comforting words, but tangible results. You will see healing. You will see provision. You will see doors open. You will see reconciliation. You will see joy overflow. And when this happens, you will know that it all came from me. No one will be able to steal the glory. No one will be able to call it chance. It will be a testimony that I am faithful, that I keep my promises, that I bring to completion all that I have spoken. Therefore, open your heart wide and embrace this new beginning with steadfast faith. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let old memories bind you. Do not let negative voices blur the truth. This is the time to lift your head high, to walk in the light, and to proclaim God is doing a new thing in my life. And as you walk, heaven will accompany you. Angels will minister to you, and the Holy Spirit will lead you. This new beginning will not only transform you, it will transform the world around you. My beloved child, when I bring you to the close of this part of the journey, I want you to know that the new beginning is not just a season. It is an eternal establishment. From the moment you chose to trust and follow, you stepped into a journey with no turning back, no longer defined by the past, but guided by promises unshakable. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a bearer of victory. You are no longer weak amid the storm, but a warrior refined in fire. You no longer walk in darkness, but in light. My word, your lamp. My word, your guiding flame. Psalm 119:105. In the days behind you, you have seen that I never left you in the shadows. Even when you thought you were alone, I walked beside you. Even when you fell, I lifted you up. Even when you lost heart, I breathed hope into your spirit. Not for a single moment have I taken my eyes off you. Not a single cry of yours has gone unheard. Not one tear has fallen without being remembered by me. Every detail of your life is held in my perfect plan. And now, as you stand before this new beginning, know that everything has been ordered to bring you here, to the place of blessing, fulfillment, and abundance. A new beginning also means you must live with a new posture, no longer with your head bowed in shame, but lifted high in faith, no longer trembling at the enemy's whispers, but steadfast in my word, no longer fleeing from trials, but facing them with courage born of the Spirit. You must walk as an heir, not as a beggar for scraps. You must live as one redeemed, not as one enslaved. You must speak as one with authority, not as one robbed of their voice. This is the transformation from root to fruit that the new beginning brings. My child, remember that what I begin in you is not temporary. It is eternal. The blessings you receive today are not only for the needs of the present, but also to lay the foundation for generations. You will leave behind a legacy, not merely of possessions, but of faith, of hope, of testimony to my faithfulness. When your children look back, they will see that you stood firm, that you walked in faith, that you remained steadfast in your calling, and that very testimony will become seed for their own journey. Oh, my child, you may think yourself unworthy to carry such a legacy, but I want you to know it is the very wounds you bore, the very tears you shed, the very battles you fought that will become the most powerful witness. People are not inspired by perfection, but by the truth that I can take the broken and reveal my glory through them. You do not need to be flawless to be used. You only need to be willing, and that willingness has brought you to this new beginning. I call you to live in peace, a peace not tied to circumstances, but flowing from my presence. Though storms may rise, peace remains because I am with you. Though the world may shift, peace endures because I do not change. Though the enemy tries to sow fear, peace will guard your heart because I have overcome the world. As John 14:27 declares, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Let this peace become the daily breath of your life. Therefore, let every word you speak, every action you take, every choice you make reflect the truth that you are living in a new beginning. Dare to dream boldly, for I am the one who accomplishes things far greater than what you ask or imagine. Dare to love boldly, for you have been loved with an unfading love. Dare to give boldly, for you have been blessed to become a blessing. And dare to stand boldly, for you know that I am fighting for you. As you step into this new beginning, I speak to you one final word. You are not alone. Heaven is walking with you. Angels have been sent to go before you to prepare the way, to protect you, to uphold you. The Holy Spirit is whispering, guiding, strengthening, and I, your Heavenly Father, I am going before you to prepare, walking beside you to accompany, and going behind you to shield. No power can hinder, no darkness can cover, no curse can destroy. You have been appointed for victory, and that victory has already been sealed in heaven. So, my child, lift your head high and walk forward. This is not merely a passing season. This is a new chapter in the eternal story of your life. You have sown in tears, and now you will reap in joy. You have waited in patience, and now you will see fulfillment. You have endured in faith, and now you will live in abundance. Let all of heaven and earth hear your declaration, I trust in God. And as you proclaim it, the heavens will open, blessings will be poured out, and the story of your life will become an unending song of praise. Thank you for listening to today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living word, build unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.